It's no joke when you choke, so get LifeVac and live. Without breath, there'll be death. So get LifeVac and live. Get LifeVac and live. Get LifeVac and live.
LifeVac and live.
Hey, welcome to In the Arena, sponsored by LifeVac, where leaders don't sit on the sidelines. Today, we're joined by Lauren Vlachos, Executive Director of the Alzheimer's Disease Resource Center. Since 2022, Lauren has energized ADRC with a new resource center in East Islip. She runs the memory walk. She's doing work at Stony Brook University. Before that, she rose operating officer. Boy, this is a long introduction, isn't it?
What a resume.
It is.
She oversees 14,000 multi-million-dollar
And
budgets.
earlier, I can't wait to talk about this. The Peace Corps, also Jimmy Carter's foundation, 2 decades in a nonprofit leadership, a builder, a servant leader, a mom of 3. Lauren Vlachos is in the arena. And boy, that was a meaty introduction.
It was.
We need
Thank
a longer
you.
Chiron, too.
Yeah,
Thank
we forget to tell you, get real close because these microphones are special. Lauren, I read your resume, and first of all, welcome to In the Arena.
Thank you for having me.
It's amazing. It's almost like it's fiction. Did you volunteer at a homeless shelter or worked at a homeless shelter?
I worked at a homeless shelter. Yeah, I did my work study program through the homeless shelter during college. And that was a wonderful experience and really eye-opening as I was working with the families, because you kind of see like anyone could really be down on their luck. You know, it doesn't really take a lot for circumstances to affect people, and then being able to provide shelter for them just so they can get back on their feet. Sometimes folks just need 30 days.
Don't they measure that in terms of a paycheck, like how close
a
lot of people are?
Definitely. Most people are probably 2 weeks to a month,
Yeah.
you know, if
Without
they were,
help.
Correct.
Without
Where'd you go to
help.
college?
I went to Gettysburg College in Gettysburg, PA.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
Is that where you grew up, or were you?
No,
from?
I grew up here on Long Island. I
Where?
went North Babylon. I graduated
Okay.
in 1996.
Oh my
You know-
God, she's a puppy.
Do you know Mr. Eden?
No.
Ron Eden, yeah,
No, I don't
my North
recall.
Babylon connection.
Oh, yeah.
But there's something else I noticed in your background. You
Yeah.
coached soccer in West Islip.
Yes.
I too coached in West Islip. I
Oh,
was on the
really?
board, but this is a long time
I
ago.
drank in bars. In West Island. Used to be a real fun time.
Mustang.
Well, the
Sally's.
youth
Mustang
are
Sally.
amazing. And I always say that. Like the kids are great. The parents and the adults sometimes not so much.
I still referee, and you're
Oh.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
The worst part about youth sports is the parents.
Correct. And
Yeah.
and they're acting like their kid is about to be in the World Cup. And I'm like, wait, they're 8.
Back up.
They're 8.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan does live in my house. Michael Jordan lives in every house. Kid
Well,
can't catch a ball.
Parents living vicariously through
So
their
I
children.
have a friend who goes, I'll only coach 2 sports, wrestling and track. And he is a coach. He coaches it. And he goes, I go, why? He goes, because parents can't argue. In track, you
They
couldn't
can't even get
yeah, you
close.
couldn't- and in wrestling, my guy beat your son got beat up.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not better
He
because
was on his back for a long
anything
time.
football, baseball, basketball. I think my son's better. No, he's not. No,
Yeah.
you know, the guys playing are the best guys. But
Yeah.
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 And then, so homeless shelter. Then when you get out, you're in the Peace Corps.
Correct.
Talk about that.
So that was just an amazing experience, Rick. From when the time, and this is actually the Peace Corps week. It's the 65th anniversary
Okay.
of President John F. Kennedy signing the executive order, starting the Peace Corps, actually. And so I saw a commercial, very cheesy, when I was like 8 years old. Toughest job you'll ever love. Was like, ooh, I want to do that. And so kind of even through high school and my college career was really planning and knew that I was going to end up volunteering. And so I sign up. I go to a country called Niger. It's in West Africa. And I am serving there from 2001 through 2003.
And you pronounce that Niger.
Yeah, because it was a French colony. And so the people that live there, like Americans will say Niger, but it really is Niger.
And is it near Nigeria?
It is. It's right above. It's in the Sahara Desert. You kind of call that whole area, though, the Sahel.
are there tigers in that region?
No. But
You
there
didn't
were
get it.
like
Tigers.
elephants and monkeys and chimpanzees and things like that, but no tigers.
Yeah.
No, I
How
said
many?
tiger.
Tiger.
That was the joke. I know. Not
Right
a good
over
joke.
my
Yes,
head.
it wasn't good, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I've got all
Yeah.
kinds of clocks in my head and questions.
So again, you're 8 years old, and you just what's your where's this from your parents? Are they altruistic like you, or are they?
Not necessarily, you know, I just kind of felt like, oh, I want to do something. I want to give back. I want to serve my country, but I'm also kind of like a hippie. So originally I was like, oh, I'll join the army. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna be able to like use a gun and shoot people. And I'm like, how else could I serve my country? Oh, this is perfect.
Was there
you
a
know?
role model, someone, aunt or
No.
someone family? You just saw it through television?
Yeah, I literally saw a commercial and was like, I want to help and, you know, I want to give back.
Do you have siblings?
I do. I have older brothers.
And are they like, she's a little nutty? She's
Yes.
She's yeah.
Yeah.
Flower
and even,
child?
Yeah. And even my parents too, I think like they thought like I'd grow out of the idea, like, oh, she'll go to college. And like, and then even through college, I'm like, no, I'm going to go in the Peace Corps. And they're like, I thought you're going to be a lawyer. I'm like, well, I'm going to do this first. And then afterwards I'll go into law school. And so as I'm applying and I'm starting to get ready to leave America, my family is like, wow, you're doing it.
You're really doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
And how many years were you?
I was there for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how was it?
It was wonderful. And to be very honest, you learn a lot more and you get a lot more out of it than you give. You know, people really teach you about what's important in life. They make you humble. Like the folks there, they're so grateful and they have nothing. I mean, literally, they don't have anything at all. And you
But
could
smile.
say,
But
yeah,
smiling.
and you could be like, so how are you doing today? Thanks be to God. All is good. And I'm like, you could complain a little. And they're like, no.
It's only a 9-mile walk to get a cup of water.
Exactly. That's
It's
some
a good
water.
day. Yeah.
How is the Peace Corps funded? Tax dollars?
Government, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So they get a government budget. I think they get like $450 million a year. Right now, I think they have close to almost 5,000 volunteers serving in probably like almost 100 countries around the world. But those countries have to request the volunteers. And then there's a relationship between our government and their government. And then the volunteers come in. And most of them doing like sustaining projects. I was doing health education, gardening, things like that.
When it came to the end of your time there, was it difficult to leave?
It is because
Yeah.
you form relationships. Like I lived in a village, like the people kind of adopt you and you become part of their family. So it is. And then when you come back to America, there's a huge culture shock just because we have so much here and it's so plentiful. Yes.
But what are the stints? Do you come home every 6 weeks or no? You're there for half a year or a year? Or
you're there for your whole service unless you decide to pay.
so
to
2.5
come
years,
home.
you just weren't home for 2.5 years?
I came home one time at Christmas time for a few weeks. Like I was able to have a vacation.
And did you get your own hotel room?
No, I lived in no. And when I
Mud
was
hut.
even there, Rick, I lived in a little mud hut. I
Oh
had
my
a
God.
latrine.
Really?
Yeah. No running water, no electricity.
And you loved it.
Praise
Yes.
God. I got my
To
own
be
tree.
very frank with you, the hardest part about being there for me was the lack of anonymity. Because wherever you go, people can instantly see, like I'm a
Stand
little
out.
white girl.
Yeah.
So then it's like, oh, you're an American? I want to go to America. The streets are paved with gold. I'm going to be a taxi driver. You're from New York? Like,
Oh,
they've
gosh.
heard of New York. So it's like, take me to New York. I want to marry you.
And what year is this?
It's 2001.
2001. So
Yeah.
do they have television?
They do, but like the village I lived in, they didn't have a TV. Like we would go to like a bigger village and maybe a few people had a TV and people would congregate and they would maybe watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or, you know,
Yeah.
they saw little snapshots of
They
America.
speak French?
The national language is French, but there's so many indigenous people there that I lived with a group of people called the Zarmas and I spoke their language.
So how long did it take you to learn that language?
Within 3 months. So when
Wow.
Basically forced to,
Yes, the
Did you
moment-
have a basis of other languages?
I had French.
French.
Yeah. So, but even once you met with government officials, you know, you'd start off very polite and in French, and they would instantly fall back into their own indigenous language. And then they would be like, oh, the American can speak our language.
Wow.
And then they kind of trusted us because they saw that we took so much effort and energy to kind of assimilate. Like we started dressing like them, wearing their clothes. We lived in mud huts. We learned their language. So then they began to start trusting us and like believe the knowledge that we were sharing.
Wow.
How do you say, my name is, say something in
Oh,
it?
even though
clicking.
we would go,
It
Yeah.
does have the
Are you
click.
to ifama I'm a fatty nigo bani
Hey,
bani
I'm
samai
trying to
wala.
lose weight.
But
call me a fatty.
usually to say yes to something, you'd be like, yeah,
Really?
yeah, you know, or you're looking at a kid or something, you want them to stop, you're like,
So this is like the movies. This is
Yeah.
like you are out
The
there.
Gods Must Be Crazy. It was a great movie.
But to be very frank, it's like I lived in one country on a continent that has 50 countries. It's all very different. Like even now, sometimes I go into schools and I share stories with students, but I really want people to recognize like it's a massive continent. Like I'm sharing stories about one group of people that I live with, and there's so many different people.
It'd
and
be like if every state
circumstances.
here was a country almost.
Correct.
But, yeah.
Exactly.
You're in a village, or they're big, well, by comparison, big cities.
There were like some of the other volunteers lived in, villages or cities kind of that had, 10, 20, 30,000 people. But I was in a very small village of about 600 people.
How far from the city?
So first I was like 7 miles from like kind of a little regional town. And then from the capital city, it was probably like 2 hours. But on any given day, you would go to the taxi place. You could wait all day because the taxi guy is not leaving until his van is filled with
So
people.
it's 2 hours by car.
Yes, 2 hours by car.
Seriously, I mean,
it
a lot
can
of
take
people
your
just
whole
walk
day.
there.
It's a shuttle, but it's a shuttle once a day.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct.
Do they have like donkeys or horses?
Yeah,
or-
exactly. So they use donkeys, they use camels a lot. They don't really use the horses because horses eat a lot and they don't have like grass and a lot of grain. So it's more like camels and donkeys.
Hence the expression,
Hmm.
I ate like a horse.
Correct.
Now, did you? What's the question? I just sailed right out of
We
my
have
head.
stupid questions.
No,
sorry.
not at all. Not at all.
No, it's not. It's not.
You're
stupid
not
at
the
all.
first though. Like we've had 4 or 5 people on the show who they said the same thing. They're like, I love my country. I'm patriotic, but I'm sort of a hippie. Another guy, he went to Israel and joined a commune. Yeah, like all these,
Blackwell.
Yeah.
The stare at the wall guy.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Rick's been staring at walls for over 9 days. He broke a record.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
No, but we have
5
these
minutes.
fascinating characters like you, where they're very giving, but they're not militaristic.
Right.
But he was in the military first for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Then decided I don't like this, and I'm just gonna go help people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get to go to this? That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Did you get to go to the city?
Yes, I did.
Like road trips?
Yes, we got to go road trips. I got to go to the Ivory Coast. I got to go to Benin. So I did get to travel. I rode camels in the Sahara Desert.
Wow.
So I got to we were encouraged to travel actually and not stay in our village. And it was considered we were still working because everywhere we went, we were really representing America and people wanted to talk to us.
Sure.
And so we were constantly teaching people about the culture of America. And I was there during 9/11. And so it was really impactful because people would say, we're hearing this on the radio, but then we met you, Lauren, and you're like our little American, and we know all these other Americans who are like you. So it really helped to, to build relationships and friendships.
That's awesome.
How do they police themselves?
They called them the gendarme. It's really
Like
military.
GERD, yeah.
Yeah, it's like military.
I was going to
police.
ask you about the government
Corrupt?
structure.
Yeah.
Some was, and we saw corruption too. But you also saw people who were trying to do the right thing. It's a little bit of both. You know what I mean?
It's like here.
Yes.
And then the other factor was like, even, like here's an example. I had at one point when I worked for Jimmy Carter's foundation, I lived in a bigger house eventually, and they gave me a guard to like kind of protect me because I was kind of in a bigger area. And I gave him money to feed my dog. And when I left for a few days and I came back, I could tell the dog wasn't fed. And I was like, I can't get mad. Like he's using the money to feed his family, you know, but you begin to understand those kinds of things,
Mhm.
It opens your eyes a little bit more about how the world works and really how we're all should be so incredibly grateful. Like it's
Absolutely.
only for the grace of karma, the gods that you're born in America,
Yes.
Yeah. Hit the lottery.
Yes.
Say that all the time.
Without a doubt. And
Yeah.
how fortunate and lucky we are.
You're
I said
tearing
that till
up.
I got
I
bald.
know.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wear your heart on your sleeve.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else goes
I'm
on
like, "Ooh,
over there?
You're the best.
pull it
Yeah.
together here.
Yeah. No, you're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. You come back and you go immediately for Boy Scouts?
Yeah. So I come home and now I tell my parents I'm not going to be a corporate lawyer. And they're like,
Did you
"Well,
go to law school?
No.
No.
They're like, well, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to work a nonprofit.
Yay. Big celebration.
Okay, we'll get your room ready. You're moving back home?
And so I decide, after working with Jimmy Carter's foundation, that really revved me up.
And
to
what was
wanna-
Jimmy Carter's foundation?
So
Still
he-
thousands. Yeah, sorry.
yes, he does that
Habitat
too.
for Humanity?
He had Habitat for Humanity, but he has another organization called Global. It was called Global 2000, and they were working on guinea worm eradication. And so I was doing that as
Oh.
well. And we were giving out water filters, and we were going into areas, and we were getting close. Like we only had about 200 cases left in the country. So we were working on that hard. But I decided, hey, I'm going to work a nonprofit, and when I come home, there's the scouts. My uncle's a mechanic, Rick, literally for the scouts.
No
and he's
kidding.
like, hey, my niece needs a job. And so
That's how it worked.
Yeah.
Nepotism.
oh,
at the
always,
highest.
isn't it? You got to know someone.
Yeah.
And so they were like, well, tell us about her. And my uncle said, well, she would just finish the Peace Corps. And they were like, if she did the Peace Corps, she could do this job. Like, she's flexible,
Overqualified.
Yeah. Like, she's
But
got
it was a paid
grit.
position, right?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
So here in Suffolk County, I worked for them almost for 19 years, actually. And I kind of rose through the ranks to eventually be their chief operating officer.
Yeah, they got a big camp out in the Hamptons, don't they?
Correct. In
Yep,
Meeting
yep.
Hollow, yeah.
You know what? We're time for a quick break.
Perfect.
We're going to be back with more of Lauren Vlachos. Do I say that
Yes,
correctly?
correct.
Fantastic. After this message from LifeVac.
No matter.
Protect your family. Buy LifeVac now.
Thank you, Dad.
That was us over 10 years ago.
Now, LifeVac is responsible for saving over 4,000 lives from choking.
In the time it takes you to pick up the phone and call, another life could be saved.
The LifeVac saved my life in 1 to 2 seconds.
Protecting families has always been our mission. I'm sure you love your family like I love my daughter. Do us all a favor and get your own LifeVac now.
Go to lifevac.net or call 877-LifeVac. Order now.
Hey, welcome back in the arena. My name is Rick Fatscher. I don't think I ever said that at the outset. Pat O'Rourke is here, and Lauren Vlachos, who's just
Sidelining up.
spellbinding.
That's right. Just get water.
Spellbinding background. So we got up to, and you know what? Before we get back to I want to bring in Mr. 3000 this week. Our special guest each week is Ray Priebe. He gives us the updates. Tonight he has a save of the week, I know, but from Cape Coral, Florida, Mr. 3000.
Hey there, LifeVackers. How we doing?
Good.
Good. Ray, you hear this story? Sounds like you.
Absolutely amazing story, by the way. Holy cow, that is absolutely amazing.
And we've just scratched the surface.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I keep telling these guys they need to bring me on first because I can't compete with any of the guests that they have on. So, yeah, but yeah.
Well, Lauren knows, Ray. Sorry to interrupt, but fill everyone in. Why do we call you Mr. 3000?
I am Mr. 3000 because I used a LifeVac to save my daughter October 20th, 2024, and she was the 3,000th reported save.
Wow.
And I say reported because there are
Yes.
tons and tons and tons of people who've used the device and haven't reported it. So I come on every week to give an update on how many people have reported the saves to date.
Excellent.
And he
Yeah.
was in New York recently. He gets up here periodically, was able to visit the Hall of Saves, but all for the 5,000 live save celebration.
Wow.
And each time we hit these milestones, Ray is a little nervous that someone with a big personality is going to be Mr. 4,000.
Never
Mr.
take him over. He's
5,000.
got like 19 kids.
You
like
are
14 adopted.
cemented in this role, Ray.
Yes. Don't worry.
I have buried my roots deep in LifeVac. We'll say that. And
On
and
the
for
Mount
good reason,
Rushmore of LifeVac.
yeah, I saved my daughter with the device, so I promote it as much as I possibly can. And again, here we are with some amazing numbers. It's been 12 days since our last podcast, and we've had 55 saves in 12 days. So we are up to a grand total of 5,514 reported saves with
Sweet. Nice round of applause.
with 3,339 precious children saved to date. And
Wow.
Over 5,500 already.
That's amazing.
sorry, we have a fire alarm going off right
Is everything
now.
okay?
Oh, I thought that was part of the sound effects.
Bad.
It's part of the show.
Yeah.
Part of the celebration. Woo! Air horns.
All right, Ray,
Is
put your
everything
house
okay,
out.
Ray?
No.
We'll be right back.
I told you not to make toast during the show.
So yeah, he was serious. He muted his mic and he stepped away for a moment because the fire alarm was going off.
He does have he has 5 kids, like 2 adopt. He's a great guy.
Yeah. And the fact that we met Maya,
Mhm.
young Maya, we call her Princess Maya.
Yeah.
when you hear the story, he pulled over. She was in the back seat of the car, choking on candy. Pulled over, had the LifeVac, thank God. But 2 other motorists came by, so we've come such a long way with awareness.
They pulled over with
LifeVac.
LifeVacs.
Yeah. Oh, that could have finished.
And
Everything's
he's not
okay.
on fire. Stop, drop, and roll.
Fire's out. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, like Rick was saying, again, it was a worst case scenario for us. We were driving home from a birthday party, and my daughter choked in the backseat of a car. So it's, again, worst case scenario, worst place to be. So literally had to pull over, pull her out of the car, tried backflow after backflow after backflow, and nothing worked. And again, the LifeVac is what saved my daughter. So again, it's just one more on this amazing numbers that continuously build and build and build. Like, let's go into the highlights of the week.
Highlight.
I don't know how Donna does this. So we have a 10-month-old from South Carolina, 2-year-old from Massachusetts, 2-year-old from Tennessee, 3-year-old from North Carolina, 4-year-old from Florida, 5-year-old from Florida, 27-year-old from Michigan, 32-year-old from Illinois, 68 from Ohio, a 71-year-old from Michigan, 78 from Georgia, 79 from Pennsylvania, and an 81-year-old from Virginia. Those are the highlights of the week.
We're choking at the same time.
It wasn't at one of those Moochie festivals, was it? Because
I don't think it was.
We got Google alerts for choking, and there was like a Moochie.
Aren't they weight loss?
No, it's a Korean ice cream.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, they
And
say
have
Ray
a
knows
festival where they gorge themselves, and
peanut
a lot
butter.
of people frequently choke on these Moochies. It's
Peanut
kind
butter,
of,
grapes,
rice
ice.
grain.
We've heard them all, but peanut butter a lot we hear.
Peanut butter actually was one of them.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yep. And again, I was reading through the highlights, and it's just absolutely, 10-month-old, a 10-month-old to an 81-year-old. It covers every spectrum. There was handicapped people. There's different food groups. There's sandwiches, peanut butter. Again, the LifeVac saved every one of these people on this list.
Hey, Ray, I'm curious, were there any veterans? I don't know if that would come up on the...
It didn't. I didn't have any veterans that I saw, but
I'm
it's
paying
not outside
particularly
the...
close attention to the VA.
What about veterinarians? Any veterinarians?
Yes.
Any vets?
Anything that starts with a V.
Yes.
That's right. Anything that starts
Anyone with a Corvette. Anything with vet.
We can do searches. Did you have one particular save of the week? Or
I didn't have one particular one. They all kind of struck me. And again, I'm a sucker for the kids.
Absolutely.
The 10-month-old really hit home. 10 months old, the beginning of their life, literally scratching the surface of their life. And it could have been taken away by choking, and it wasn't because of the LifeVac.
Yeah. Hey, Ray, Arthur Lee, CEO, inventor of LifeVac, was recently in your presence, right? He sent a picture of you doing a television appearance in Florida.
Yes. We were at the Lee County Sheriff's Department, where the Casada Foundation and LifeVac made a huge donation of over 400 LifeVacs for the Lee County Sheriff's Department, which is going to be just amazing to have in their patrol cars. As you all know, the police department is usually first on scene. They beat everybody there because they're just out patrol. Yep. So to have these devices in the patrol cars is absolutely amazing.
Did Arthur tell the sales department he's giving away 400 more LifeVacs? That's always a happy day back at the shop. Yeah. He's done that before.
No.
He was on TV. He was not on TV. He was in front of a board
in Wisconsin,
school board, and said, "Listen, I'll give them to you for free. Just tell me your school. I'm not trying to make money. I'm trying to save people."
Yeah.
And they said back at the warehouse, they're like, "Oh."
The great part about that interview is I was fortunate enough to contact the original reporter who interviewed my family when I saved Maya with the device. So she was able to come out, re-interview me, and really get the word out there. So that was really a blessing.
That's great. Now, how long ago was that? Sometimes we see things on Facebook and it's been like a week or two. Was that recent?
This was just last week.
Great. Fantastic. Amazing. Yep.
How the world is
big shout out to the Casada Foundation. They have been a major role in supporting the community around here. They have donated to Marco Island, Collier County Sheriff's, Lee County Sheriff's, West Palm Beach. They're all over the place. So huge shout out to the Casada Foundation.
Oh, the Casada Foundation doing great
Is that
work
Batman?
along with Arthur. That is Batman.
Yes, Batman.
The guy
Yeah.
loves Batman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's got more money than God, but
He's
he
the
loves
only,
Batman.
well, what was the only superhero that didn't have superpowers.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So he gets married at the Ohika Mansion.
He had a great
dressed as
utility belt.
Batman with the Batmobile.
Really?
And his wife dressed as Batwoman.
That's
I
awesome.
swear, yeah, it was.
Oh, that's a party I wish I had attended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't pull off the Batman suit.
No.
I would
Not
look
yet.
like Adam
You-
West
you-
now.
You probably can. You probably can soon.
The
I was
generation.
going to say, Pat,
Big utility belt. I need a real big one to block it.
That was,
Pat, you will soon, buddy. You keep it up, man. You're looking good.
Hanging
Yeah.
in there.
he's trending. He's trending
But actually,
down.
that's a good point. You were talking about it just happened last week or this or that. When you were out, I guess in the bush they call it, right? Or-
Yeah. In the
How did
bush.
Did they
News
have
travel.
phones or yeah?
No, not yet, because it's 2001 to 03.
Yes, no coverage, right?
No, only when we went to the capital city did we have internet and we could send the emails and such.
So did you forget, like something would happen and you'd be like, oh, I forgot about that. It was 6 weeks ago.
You know what was nice? Like you kind of forgot about like Hallmark holidays,
Mm.
like that kind of nonsense,
That's
like a
nice.
Valentine's Day or like
Nonsense.
the hoopla. You're like,
Cookies
this
and
is
bacon.
nonsense, you know?
Yeah.
Like those kinds of things. It was like, oh, it's good to not. and,
Ooh, how was the food?
you know,
I'm very shallow.
there's a lot of rice and beans, goat, lamb. You know,
Yeah.
it's okay.
What is
Yeah.
the big
I
holiday?
forgot
there?
Ray was with
Oh
us.
yeah, sorry, we're back
I'm
to
still here. I'm with you guys.
Hi,
Hey.
Ray.
Hey, Ray. We're hearing all about Niger, right?
Niger.
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 I
Niger.
still can't say it.
Niger.
It's just like Teasier Woods.
How
the
about
golfer.
that? How about that catchphrase?
You know, I got a catchphrase I say every week that I live by. It's LifeVac. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. The life you save could be your own, could be a stranger, could be a child. Get a LifeVac. Good night and God bless, guys.
Well
Ray
done,
Mold.
Ray
Thanks,
Priebe.
Ray.
Way to
Well
go,
done,
Ray.
son.
We love you, Ray.
God bless you, Ray. Great guy,
Yes.
Mr. 3K.
Definitely.
Good man.
Amazing.
So I can't say it's still Niger.
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 Yeah. Okay.
That's okay. Don't worry.
So we covered the food.
Yeah.
We get up to the point where you've back in the States and you're working for, just remind
Scouts.
folks who are working for the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
When do
Yeah.
you start dressing like an American again?
Pretty
Did
much
you-
right away.
Okay.
You,
You
know,
don't
you
have to
gotta
play
fit.
it.
You gotta fit in.
Do you keep in touch?
So not necessarily with the villagers, but the teachers. We called them our host country partners. We kept in touch with some of those, and we even brought a few to the States. Like we would sponsor some of the other volunteers, and we would host them so that
Wow.
they could come and experience our country.
How did you stay in
Yeah.
touch with your family? Just letter writing, pretty much?
It was a little tricky, a little bit of letter writing, but also maybe like every 2 months or 3 months, I would go into the capital city and I could send an email. And sometimes through email, I would say, okay, I'm going to sit at the phone at the hostel. So at this time, New
Call me.
York,
Yeah.
call me, and then they could call
Okay.
in and we,
Yeah,
you
we
know,
joke, we kid, but were your parents okay with not hearing from you for
I think they were.
long stretches of time?
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? When 9/11 did happen here in New York, I didn't even know for like at least 4 or 5 days.
Wow.
You know, I'm living in the bush,
Yeah,
as you're saying,
yeah.
Pat, and I'm pulling water out of a well, I'm gardening, I'm doing my thing, and
Trying
finally,
to kill bacteria.
yeah,
God's work.
a villager.
What
comes,
worm was it?
What?
What worm?
The guinea worm.
The guinea worm.
Yeah, it's a parasitic
Easy.
worm.
Yeah.
But a
Easy.
villager comes over to me, and at the time when I lived there, they had given me the name Fatima. So a villager comes up to me and is like, Fatima, you should turn on your radio. They're talking all over the news about like a plane in New York or something. And we all know that you're from New York. Like, you should really turn on your radio. And I was like, wait, like, damn, he sounds like like he's talking about something. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, I ran back to my hut and I was like, let me get Voice of America on. And and it was like literally probably 4 days
Why?
after the fact.
Wow.
But why even Fatima?
No.
Did they look at you in a saintly way? Did they think you were the mother?
They were struggling to pronounce our American names, like, to be able to say Lauren. So when we got there, they
just-
like our families all like renamed
But
us.
Fatima's almost like a religious
Correct.
icon. They looked up to you.
Correct. Like
Yeah, okay.
the majority of the
Look at
folks
Pat.
there were Muslim. Yeah. And Fatima. Exactly. Yeah.
They would have called me God.
Fatima.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Fatima.
Lady Fatima, or
Yeah.
yes. But I had busboys when I used to bartend from Ecuador, and they would say, "What's your name?" And I told them God, and they'd come out and go, "God, do you need more ice?" And everyone at the bar would look. I go, "They think I'm God. I don't know." So I'm not quite Fatima, but I'm fat. But anyway, that was my story. But go ahead.
I love it.
Yeah.
I
So
do.
we fast forward to the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
How long were you? A long time.
Yeah, almost 19 years.
19 years.
Yeah.
And how did you make the transition, or what led you to Alzheimer's?
So the Scouts have an interesting way of kind of their like succession planning. So really, in order to move up in the Scouts and be a CEO, they really want people to move around the country. You really work for the top organization. And I live here on Long Island, and we live in a great place, and we have beautiful beaches. And so I didn't want to do that. So I was kind of stagnant, being just the chief operating officer. And so I felt like, all right, if I want to, do more, like I really need to like kind of leave. And so I decided to leave. And then there was an opportunity at the Alzheimer's Disease Resource Center.
2022.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where is their national headquarters? Is that in DC or in California?
It's in Dallas.
Dallas, Texas?
Yeah. They're outside of Dallas. Yeah.
But okay.
So do you work nationally with them, and I know you work locally because we got
it's
things
a
going
little
on in
of both.
Stony Brook.
It's a little bit of for the Alzheimer's organization.
Yeah.
No, so we are actually a local Long Island chapter. Our history is a little interesting, Rick. So my organization was started in 1983, and we're called the Alzheimer's and Related Disorders. And many of these types of organizations start popping up around the country because we're starting to realize like people aren't just senile. Like something's happening.
Yeah. I'm going to back up and ask you some really basic questions, but continue.
So we plug along for a little while. And in the 90s, the Alzheimer's Association begins to come on the landscape, and they reach out to all these little local chapters and are like, come on board. Let's all come on. So we do that, and many other organizations do. And for probably about 15, 20 years, we operate as the chapter of the Long Island Alzheimer's Association. In about 2012, the organization at the time is run by an executive director, and she decides that she doesn't really like being part of a big national organization and really wants to focus more on the caregivers. And so she pretty much like succeeds from them, and she creates the Alzheimer's Disease Resource Center. And we kind of go back to having our EIN number and the difference between our two organizations, because they really are a wonderful organization, the Alzheimer's Association, but they're much more focused on research and finding a cure for the disease, which is incredibly important. Our organization is more like helping folks like today.
Cope.
Yes. So like you go and get a diagnosis, and sometimes, you go to the doctor and the doctor's like, okay, this is what's happening. All right. Here's your lollipop. I'll see you in 6 months.
So do you see people fresh off their diagnosis?
We do. And even caregivers too, because they're like, what does this really mean now for our family? And some people, they go from 0 to 100. So for an example, maybe their loved one got a diagnosis. We're taking your car. It's like, whoa. Let's slow down. Yeah, because the disease is going to progress. It has different stages. And there are a lot of things that we can do with our lifestyle to even slow down the progression of the disease. Our instinct is to kind of go inside and become depressed and not leave our house and, socially isolate, but that's actually not very healthy for us. And so the more we remain active in our community, socialize with our family and friends, have purpose, volunteer, the longer actually the disease will kind of stay back, because it keeps our brain is like the mainframe. It controls everything. Yeah. And so if we can keep it, working and engaged and having purpose, it continues to fire and shoot off. But when we withdraw and we isolate and we don't have a reason to get up in the morning and get dressed and give back to our community, then things start dying.
Use it or lose it. Yeah.
Yes.
So Alzheimer's and dementia, they're
I was just going to ask that question.
Good question, gentlemen.
Is Alzheimer's different from dementia?
Yeah, I have a friend who's sort of going through this right now.
Yes.
Pretty young, and it started with short-term memory.
Yes.
You talk about what'd you do today, and he'd be like, So then now his wife's saying, he's gone pretty quickly. He's been pretty aggressive. So they think it's dementia with a brain bleed, and they're trying to get him on the right medicine. Mm-hmm. So is that like Alzheimer's? Or?
So let me, so this is such a great question because we got to take a break.
We got to take a quick break. What podcast takes breaks like this? We're doing for a radio, but we're going to step away for a quick moment. We'll be back with more Lauren Vlachos in the arena after this message from LifeVac.
She started to choke on a piece of candy.
She wasn't breathing.
Then Ray reached for the LifeVac, and it saved her.
She could have easily died that day. A LifeVac saved her life. What I would say is don't need a LifeVac and not have it. Have a LifeVac and hopefully never need it.
Recently, the American Red Cross has added anti-choking devices as an option when standard protocol fails or is not feasible.
Go to lifevac.net or call 877-543-3822.
Water up.
Yeah, welcome back in the arena. Lauren Vlachos has been just captivating us,
flooding us with information.
And Pat, you were just describing a associate friend.
Yeah, but I feel like my life is so shallow compared to when I hear stories like
I know. We're underachieving.
I buy Girl Scout cookies. I think I'm the greatest guy in the world.
What's your favorite cookie?
Samoas.
Yes.
And have like 4
Thin
sleeves
mints.
lay on the couch.
See, I'm with him. I'm with the Samoas.
You didn't have Samoas out in the bush or wherever you were, that's for sure. You were having
And do you like
rice
them?
and beans.
Wait, Pat, do you like them cold?
No.
Oh, you
my
don't?
teeth are too sensitive. I have old man teeth.
All right.
I used to.
Old man teeth.
Like now I'm like, oh, my fillings will come out. It'll be a mess.
Understood.
But anyway. We were talking about are they related brothers?
Yes.
Dementia and Alzheimer's?
Yeah, so this is a wonderful question. So this is the best way to think about it, gentlemen. So the word dementia is really an umbrella term, very much like the word cancer. So we have the word cancer, right?
Categories.
Yeah. Correct. And then we have all these different forms of cancer that people can get. That's how dementia is. So it's an umbrella term of dementia, and underneath that term, and dementia just really means that you're having neurocognitive degeneration. Underneath that main term, then you can have Alzheimer's disease. You can have a form of dementia that's called Lewy body. And that's what Robin Williams, you guys remember Robin Williams, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's what he was being impacted by, was a form of dementia called Lewy body. And it affects you differently than Alzheimer's. There's another form of
suicide. Sorry to interrupt. Is that like a high rate?
It creates hallucinations and delusions, you know what I mean? And things like that. And the thing that everyone should really be aware of is that when folks are going through something like this, they know something is happening. Like, you know what I mean? When something is happening to yourself, like you have periods.
This isn't right. Yeah.
Correct. You have periods where you're like, wait a minute, did I just black out? Like, I don't remember that conversation. Like, I felt like I wasn't here for the last 20 minutes. So people, when these things are happening to them, they have a sense of something is happening, but it's so scary. And you fear, how is my family going to act? How are people going to treat me? And so we tend to not want to know the answer of what's happening with our brains. And yet it's so incredibly important for us to, early find out what's going on. Because sometimes it might not be the end of the world. It might be, oh my goodness, Pat, you have sleep apnea.
Yeah. I could get Ozempic if I had sleep apnea.
But sometimes, wait, you need your hearing checked.
Something
you
very
can't
simple,
remember
yes.
anything because you didn't hear a darn thing.
Yeah.
And so there are other things that could be at play. Again, I mean, maybe your diet isn't right. And so it's really important that when people are having, episodes or worried about their brain or their memory, that they go and they speak to their doctor, because then you can kind of establish a pattern and see, is it something, that I can fix with a lifestyle change, or is it something more serious that maybe I should be going and trying to make an appointment with a neurologist?
And how is the diagnosis made?
So again, it's a little bit about
Scale?
Storytelling. Sometimes, like even your family. So it's like, tell me a little bit about your life, Rick, and now tell me what's going on lately that has you concerned, or your friends and family are concerned. Is it, I went to go get my hair cut and I couldn't find my car, so I just walked home. Or, I was at work and they're asking me for an assignment and I never handed it in. And now I'm getting in trouble at work, but I don't even have a recollection,
Wow.
And so it's kind of listening to those things. It's kind of creating a baseline, seeing where people are at. And then, it might not be to get into some of these doctors, guys. Sometimes it's a 6-12 month wait too, so
sounds like psych. Same thing.
Yeah.
You go to the emergency room. That's your best alternative.
And you're going to see probably in the next 5 to 10 years is that we really want to try to even educate primary care doctors to be doing like cognitive tests and really asking people about their cognitive health and their brain and how are they feeling, so that I can start there, so that a baseline can be formed. So not everyone's like, well, make an appointment with a neurologist. All right, well, I got to wait 8 months. But at the same time, you're still having maybe symptoms happening and lapses.
Some primary, correct me if I'm wrong, some primaries are ahead of the curve
Always.
and doing the work.
Always.
Can they scan? Like, is there?
So yeah, we're getting to some really exciting times, to be honest with you. Now they've developed these blood biomarkers, which can really can see, what's happening within the blood and are these proteins. So really, at least Alzheimer's is a lot about proteins, very similar to your heart. When proteins build up in your heart and they create all this plaque and now your heart can't pump, it's the same kind of idea. These proteins build up on your brain and between the neurons, and then the neurons, they can't talk to each other, and then they slowly die. And when the neurons don't talk to each other, I mean, it affects literally everything that we do, to how far this water bottle is from me, to executive function, to following steps, to processing, to even a filter, to know not to say an inappropriate thing or do something inappropriate. You know, our body controls everything, even our eyesight.
Sounds like Tourette.
No, it sounds like you.
No filter?
No filter.
I've been in airports with them. It's embarrassing.
But there are a lot of different forms of dementia. Even Parkinson's disease is a form of dementia.
I was about to mention that.
Yes.
So my friend, he's big into the MMA and stuff like that.
Yes.
So they thought that was the first, you know, like, yeah. And then even one of his signs you mentioned before is he just started losing weight. And we're like, you know, how are you losing weight? And he said, well, I don't know, just not eating as much. And it was, you know, that was one of the, that's a symptom.
Well, a marked personality change, even with Robin Williams, going back to him when we were talking, you know, he had serious marked personality change. Like, he went from being this very outgoing, you know, fun loving guy to at a party hiding in the bushes. And people were like, what is going on? You know?
And was it ever discovered what happened at the end? Because he took his own life.
It really wasn't. And his wife, Susan, I mean, they've made documentaries on it, Rick, and she, you know, she has ideas about it. She really thinks that he had an innate understanding of what was happening to him. And he
didn't like it.
He didn't want to lose a spark. And none of us really want to lose our spark.
No.
But he was understanding, like, I'm losing the spark, like the ember, you know. And he was having a lot of trouble. And even though he was on a sitcom, people were masking it. He was making that Third Night at the Museum movie. They were masking it on the set. You know, he was struggling for a lot longer than the public actually knew what was happening.
And you mentioned hallucinations, part of it. Did you think he suffered?
Yes. And even they talk about it. So as I said, his wife, Susan, they made a documentary, and he was suffering from hallucinations, delusions, thinking things that were happening that weren't there. And then he would have moments of clarity where he knew, like, that didn't really happen. But then he would fall kind of back again, you know, and it's like your brain, you know? Yeah. It's tricky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how big is the organization that you work for now?
So it's really interesting. So we serve all Long Island, but we have just undergone a partnership with the organization sweatshirt I'm wearing, Caring Kind.
Caring Kind, everybody.
Yes. And so they have the same shared history as us. They, again, once were the former chapter of the New York City Alzheimer's Association. They separated when we did. We've both been kind of, you know, chugging along like little choo-choo trains.
And now you're joining.
Yeah. So when I got hired.
Synergy.
When I got hired in 2022, Rick, I'm really a believer of, like, we're stronger together. If nonprofits work together, we can get more done. And so I reached out to them and was like, you know, you guys are in New York City. We share a lot of the same families, because families go from the Hamptons or here, they're in Manhattan, you know, back and forth. And they were like, yes, we should do this. And so for the last 2 years, we've been kind of working out the details. And now we're just waiting for the Attorney General to approve our paperwork.
The New York State Attorney General.
Yes.
And you think it's
like, you know, we crossed our T's, we got our I's dotted.
Once you pay them off,
Stop it.
Come on, you get the check clear. What's in it for me?
It's very exciting, because we're going to grow even more. Some of the services that we're going to start providing, one of them is called cognitive stimulation therapy. So maybe you do go to your doctor and your doctor says, you know, you're having a little bit of, you know, mild cognitive decline. We're going to offer a closed 10-week program where you can come, and we're going to work on, you know, brain activities that can, you know, hopefully improve your brain, improve cognition, but you're also going to have an opportunity to connect with some other folks who might be going through the same thing as you. And these folks could look just like us guys. They could be people who are professionals. They're still out working, they're raising their children, but they're having some kind of mild cognitive decline. And so we want to address it early, and we want to create a support system so that they have others that
it happens early, or it happens when people are young.
Yes.
Is the prevalence, though, more in, like, 70? Is there a prevalence?
The statistics show that by the time we reach 85, 1 in 3 people will have some form of mild cognitive decline. But I mean, they're showing now there's early onset. Like, we have some families where we have individuals, they're in their 50s and they're impacted. I mean, we had a young woman, I mean, 59 years old, eventually passing away. Her daughter is a high school senior.
And there's more.
But by 85, you already won. And there's like, I made it to 85.
There's some that progress really quickly, right?
Yeah. Yes. And so, like, as we were saying, the Lewy body dementia, that form of dementia progresses very faster than Alzheimer's disease. And so definitely, without a doubt. And then, as I said, there are things you can do. If you're impacted by one of these forms of dementia, crawling into your home and reclusing, you're going to progress much faster. Aging alone.
We had a girl on
fast.
also, a boxer.
Yes.
And she worked with dementia patients, and she said them working out, you would think that would be the worst thing they could do. She goes, it's the best thing they could do.
Yeah, I can
Because
tell you a
slow
story
down.
about that.
We're going to go out for a quick break.
Yeah.
We'll be back with more Lauren Vlachos after this break, this message from LifeVac.
I was in the living room when I heard my son Carter, who was 2 at the time. I looked over and I saw him grabbing for his face and his throat. I grabbed the LifeVac. I put the mask on his face and placed push-pull. The LifeVac dislodged the ice cube from his airway and he started crying. The most amazing sound I've ever heard in my entire life. Please protect your family. Get a LifeVac.
Welcome back in the arena. I'm Rick Fatscher along with Pat O'Rourke, and we're talking with Lauren Vlachos.
I think Rick is the best producer in podcast history.
Definitely.
It's the fastest growing podcast in America. We double our crowd each week.
Yeah.
Our audience.
We got a great
I
crowd.
think we're at 20.
And we are normally broadcast nationally, which we're soon going to return to that. Right now we're on 710 WOR.
Yes.
910.
Well, we were
710.
Dallas, Houston,
San Diego,
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
We'll put this one on for sure.
Allentown,
Wonderful,
Orlando.
guys.
Yeah. So I want to
Should know
bring
who
up.
I am.
I want to
I'm a
bring.
pretty
I
big
know you
deal.
have events all the time.
Yes.
But I want to bring up the one that I noticed first on your LinkedIn page. Bobby, do you have that?
You guys did your homework.
Oh, a little.
I love it.
A picture, a visual aid. Nope. The picture that I texted you. Anyway, it's about the walk.
Yes. So thank you, Rick, for asking. So
Yeah.
our organization, we host a walk and brain health day. This year, it's going to be held on Saturday, June 20th. It's at Marjorie Post Park in Massapequa.
We know that place.
All right. So I want to see you. Yes, we're in Massapequa right now. So I'd love to see you gentlemen there.
We're June birthday boys. We got to go to that.
I love it. And we have a wonderful event planned. We do a 5K around the walk. We have a live band. We have lunch. And
A 5K around the park, or you go across the Burns Park? Or where?
we just walk around the whole Marjorie Post Park, like kind of right past the ice skating rink and
Sure.
such. It's a meander, nothing crazy.
Know it well.
But it's an opportunity for our families to come, for those who have maybe lost a loved one, to come and celebrate their life as well, and then help us to raise funds. Our organization, everything that we do is free, guys. So I want the community to make sure that they know this. If you or someone you know or who is impacted and you need help or support, there's the walk flyer, guys. So you can see, you can click on the QR code. If you're not tech savvy, you can definitely call the phone number and we'll get you all squared away. And everyone is welcome. Please come join us. It's going to be a wonderful event, and it's Saturday, June 20th.
We're
Walk, jog.
absolutely going to be there. You such a great
Or
job.
meander.
Thank
Walk,
you.
jog,
Yeah.
or
Yes. And if you don't like that, we got a live band. You just come sitting in the shady area and you enjoy the band.
Marjorie Post Park used to be a mansion of the original settlers of Massapequa, the Jones family.
Oh,
No
really?
kidding.
And they had stables in the back where the pools are and the hockey rink. And in the front was a mansion. And Merrick Road was a dirt road. And across the street was a little water pump.
And All American was
All American was still there
Not
back
yet.
then. Yes.
I love that.
greatest French fries.
Yes. But Marjorie Post Park. So I'll be there to tell you the history of Massapequa too.
I love
if you want to
it.
meander with me,
I'll be there.
most people don't.
Most
but
people
we
want to
will
meander with you.
I love it. And we're hoping to raise some funds because everything that we do is free. We offer care consultations. So if you or someone you know, has concerns, has questions, is trying to navigate the disease, needs a little education, needs some tools in their toolbox, you can definitely reach out to us. The other thing we do, and Pat was talking about this, we offer life enrichment activities. And so what is that? We do chair boxing, Pat.
Yeah.
And so, we have a professional boxer. He comes in, he brings pool noodles, he puts on gloves, and our folks absolutely love it. We see people.
Is it like they're fighting the disease?
Yes, but even the
Yeah.
caregiver, I mean, you're boxing it out. Even I have individuals, maybe they're not verbal, but I mean, we start counting it out.
Get physical.
Yeah, and they get excited and they make their rocky poses and they just, light up. And we ask our caregivers when they show up, we're like, how you doing? I'm a little stressed out. I'm a little anxious. It's been a rough day. And then after, they participate in something fun like this, we're like, how you feeling? I feel great. Like I feel better. I'm recharged. And so that's a lot what our organization does. We also have many support groups. We have 17 different support groups throughout Long Island. So if you are looking to connect, need some help, want to talk to other people about what you're going through, we have a support group that can help folks. And we have them in person. We have them on Zoom. We have ones for the adult child. We have ones for the spouse. And we even offer bereavement groups as well. And as I said, everything is free.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Talk about the caregiver.
Oh
The
my
role.
gosh.
We had Jay Sparrow on of the
Okay.
Anna Sparrow run.
Yes.
And his grandmother, he was completely changed his life, the experience. And now he does so much work running 90 miles for to raise awareness and raise funds.
Yeah.
How are they doing with the research?
So as I said, we're getting to some very exciting times. They're coming out with these blood biomarker tests where it's going to become much more accessible. And you're going to see that, folks, too, that people are going to want to know. Like it's going to be like cancer where we want to know, do I have a gene? Am I predisposed?
Earlier the better, yeah.
Yeah, because if I know now that if I start changing my diet and I exercise and I begin to volunteer, that I can make a real impact on maybe not developing some form of dementia, I'm going to do that.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Take the necessary steps.
Correct.
What role does protein play?
So again, there are these proteins. They're called tau and alpha proteins, and they kind of cling within the brain and they block the neurons from speaking to each other.
So in this case, the protein is not good.
No, it's not. Like we already have them in there. What happens is it just gets built up. And
it's
then
like
built.
plaque, like you're saying with plaque
in the
like when they're normally in there, they're good things. You know what I mean? They keep things rock and roll, and it's just when they start to build up too much, and they start clogging kind of the pathways, and then the pathways can't talk to each other.
And my background, of course, in pharma.
Mm-hmm.
How is the medication?
So they're getting there too, but I think the thing that people need to recognize is the medication is for those who very early diagnosis, because it's not going to cure the disease. The medication is really slowing down the progression of the disease. So if if those are things that you're interested in, that's why it's so important to get an early diagnosis, because even those trials to be on some of those medications, they want people in the very early stages.
Right.
But it's very interesting. I just met a gentleman just really quick. And he puts on a show. It's called Dementia Man. He's a fabulous individual, but he was diagnosed about 7 years ago. He got into one of these trials. I didn't think he would still be doing so good, to be very honest, Rick. I was in DC 2 weeks ago. I ran into him at a dinner. He is still sharp.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my goodness. But again, he does a play. He's out in the community. He's coming to dinner. And I mean, and he was like, I remember you, but I don't remember you, dear. Like, just give me a heads up, remind me. And, but as soon as I started, refreshing, he's like, oh yes, Long Island, but I was like, wow. He's like a model of someone. Difference. Yes, without a doubt. And he calls his wife his dementia navigator, because she helps him navigate in the world. She makes people slow down.
Got a sense of humor about it sounds like.
Yes, it's amazing. And so, when these things impact us, it really is about your perspective and your attitude, and then again, your family as well. How do they rally around you too? And then caregivers. Caregivers are so incredibly overwhelmed. And so if we can provide resources for them, education. I mean, even here in New York State and even nationally, they're trying to, offer more respite programs so that caregivers can even just turn around and start taking care of themselves.
I've heard that with Jay Sparrow I mentioned before, just giving them the opportunity to go out and get a haircut or
definitely
to the mall,
normal stuff, just feel
take
normal,
care of themselves.
Even their own doctor's appointments. When someone is impacted by a certain form of dementia, it really takes over everyone, the caregiver's life, because now they're picking up the ball to pay bills, they're food shopping, they're trying to get you to your doctor's appointment. And as the disease progresses, then they begin to help you with your daily living activities, your bathing, your feeding, your
also a lot of times I'm sure the one with dementia was the breadwinner, and now it's
They could have been doing everything though, Pat. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes I've seen this where the husband is doing the bills. He handled all the finances.
Yep.
He mowed the lawn. He fixed the house. And now he's the one impacted. And the
Yeah.
wife's like, I didn't even cook. Like,
Yeah.
I don't mean to laugh, but sometimes
No,
the
the
No,
Irish
you've
way. You have to
got it.
laugh.
I
and
know.
cry. Are you
Or we're
kidding?
drinking.
Yes. But on June 20th, when I see it, Marjorie post, I probably will say, I don't remember you. And I don't have dementia, but I'll just, oh yeah, that's now it's making sense. But even the point you were going back to before, where pre-existing, or you find out, I was reading a book on, they were saying, we'll never cure cancer, but we'll have markers where we can prevent it because we know it's coming. Just like any other disease, if we know ahead of time, here's what you do to prevent it.
Correct.
But they think it'll never be cured. So, but you can prevent it. So that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, 40. There's
the
40%
pre-markers.
of you have a 40% of impacting with lifestyle changes of
Right.
not getting the disease.
Amazing.
And you're going to hear a lot more, gentlemen, about the brain economy and brain health. Like we're hearing all about AI, but we should be investing in our own brains.
Absolutely.
Because our brains keep literally, as it says, the mainframe. It controls everything.
Well, you're a delight.
Thank
Yes,
you. This was
yes.
wonderful.
Oh, you have to come back.
I will. I would
Yeah.
love to.
No, we're going to see you June 20th. It's right in our neck of the woods. We're
And
going.
then maybe after that we do a recap, gentlemen.
Absolutely.
The walk.
Absolutely.
I would love that.
And both our birthdays are in June. So
I
we
would
will
love that.
celebrate our birthdays.
Yes.
So Lauren Vlachos reminds us that leadership is service in action. From global health work to strengthening Long Island families facing Alzheimer's, she's building impact where it matters most. Our thanks
open this Chiron
to
at the
Lauren
bottom.
for stepping into the arena with us. So for Patrick O'Rourke, I'm Rick Fatscher, and thanks for joining us in the arena.
And Lauren never stops smiling.
Yeah.
Bo,
Thank
bo,
you.
bo, bo.
We'll see you next week, everybody.
It's no joke when you choke, so get LifeVac and live. Without breath, there'll be death. So get LifeVac and live. Get LifeVac and live. Get LifeVac and live.
LifeVac and live.